What's up, Clashers? Or should I say, what's up to all my miners? Pause. Alright, it's okay. I too am a miner, don't worry, guys. So let us load up some craft. What, you're probably. What are these? These, I mean, they're pigs, I think. But anyway, you're probably thinking, what inspired me to make Minecraft? And I was like, man, I love Minecraft so much. We're gonna clash, and we're gonna mine, and we're gonna craft. Now that's pretty baller. So let's get started on our world here. Let's see what can we accomplish in the savanna biome that I don't want to be in. How do I get out of this? Where's more places? Also, shout out to the creators of this mod pack. It is called Fabulously Optimized, and it is really good. Whoa, what is this? Okay, I think I want to be here. What is it? A roly-poly? I'm not sure. I have not played like Minecraft seriously or taken any of the updates seriously since it was when they first expanded the caves in 1.17 or 1.18 or something. But I don't play those versions. I play pretty much exclusively. I play on 1.16 Java. Just because, I have a server and I don't really want to update anything. But so we're going to start some Minecraft today. We're going to be crafting, mining, and most importantly, becoming miners. Or in some of our cases, staying miners. Let us start with some wood. And we're going to have to see what is up and what is down. And, I'm down for some craft right now, so. What are we going to do? First day in the big craft. It's like, what are we going to accomplish? Well, let's set out a checklist. We should build a starter house, and that's it. That's probably all I'm going to get done. Gonna have to use this axe to axe this guy out of the game. And then also this guy because I need to eat and I need wool because I need to sleep. Speaking of sleeping, let's just talk about this real quick. If you had to put on average in the comment section right now, how many hours of sleep do you get in a night? Because, I'm just thinking man, I don't really sleep a lot, but I sleep a lot, It's like you sleep for 7, 8, 9. You sleep for so many hours and you see, the returns aren't so good. You can sleep for me sleeping for 7 hours and me sleeping for 10 hours. I might sleep better if I only sleep 7 hours. Which is really weird. You think you get more sleep, you'd be more relaxed. You might be more rested up and less tired, but I've always found that to be quite the opposite, actually. I think there's a point of perfection. There's I think the perfection lies at about the 6-hour mark. However, sometimes you sleep extra thinking that it's really going to benefit you, and then you end up waking up more tired. You're just more groggy, if that makes sense. And it's puzzling. It's a question for all of mankind. Why is that? You think you give the body more time and you get more energy, and the answer is no. You end up waking up more groggy, more tired, more brain fog. And it's crazy. But that is for the sleep scientists to know and not for me to know. But this is going to take forever, so let's hit a quick stone mining montage. Okay, so we've gathered up approximately 28 stone, which should be enough to start. Let's get something going here. This is going to feel very terrible. But we're going to break one log because I just realized I did not grab my C table, as we call it. We're just going to put down a little table, and we're going to make something out of stone. Okay, I have probably never embarrassed myself in this lifetime so much. You know, I'm pretty OG. I'm pretty, 2011 Minecraft, but sometimes you're playing and you just make, you're absent-minded. You're not even thinking, and you just make like such a simple, yet so significant feeling mistake. And you just look at yourself and you're just like, what are you doing? Like, what am I doing wrong in that department of remembering what I'm doing, and so on and so forth. It's it's really, what did Michael Jackson say? It's human nature, you know. Whoa, oh, it's one of the mods I have on. That's why. I was like, whoa, do they add dynamic torches? Nah, no, they did not. It's because I got mods, but human people are such interesting creatures because the only thing that separates us for the most part from apes is our ability to reason and our ability to speak. If you really think about it, like gorillas and what's the one that we're like really related to? Chimpanzees. They can, realistically, if they had the intelligence, they could do anything a human could do. But humans have the uniqueness and the ability to reason and to think critically, as opposed to, what does a gorilla think? Bash rock overhead of animal and I eat. But if that's how we thought, a very, very long time ago, and that's not the case. I just realized I have no game audio. Why is there no game audio? Yeah, we'll include some light audio. There we go. That's good. So, I don't know. We're just apes. We're just really smart apes. But we've really evolved out of the brute strength, right? Apes, they are just, they're very physical beings. What they lack on the intelligence side, I'm sure they more than make up for in most survival cases, in the fact that they are incredibly physically able compared to most people. Aside from like that bodybuilder Eddie Hall, like that dude was ginormous. But he was a bodybuilder and probably on roids. I ain't gonna lie. Definitely on some PVS, performance enhancing steroids. Where are we going? Where does this actually go to? Let's see. This is a very, very big cave. I'm not super familiar with the cave systems in this update, and especially not the underwater caves that are also in this update, which I don't like. I really only played a little bit on this version, like really, or not this version, but like with a lot of the changes right after 1.17 came out. So whenever that was, 2021 or 2022 or whatever, was really the last time I got into an update for Minecraft. Every other time it's 1.16 or it's 1.12, on like Anarchy servers, and then 1.8 for anything PvP. Modern Minecraft combat is kind of a joke. You can see literally what I'm doing is just it's just axe. You axe everything, and it's just you have to crit. But it's all with the axe. This axe does more damage than it either does more damage or the same amount of damage as a diamond sword in Java, which does not make any sense because why do diamond weapons, one designed for wood and one designed to kill, why are they differently, damaging? I guess we in that faculty will never know, but Oh my god, how am I, like... I'm not sure. I think I should post up here. This is a nice little open area. There's a lot to look at. Cable-wise. With it being so open. Let's light it up. Let's definitely not get, not get any mob spawns in here. And let's get some food. Get some mutton down. We'll get some coal. Which I'm not at all clicking on. We're gonna eat up. I think we're gonna post up here for the night. Eat. I need to get more wool. Big mistake on my part. No wool. But we shall work on that next. That'll be my next goal, is to get some supplies and make a bed and just go to sleep. You know, we can start skipping the nights and really get into the meat and potatoes of Minecraft. And there are many potatoes and there's much meat. Yeah, we're really gonna get into it here. This should be a real great little series I'll make, you know, and it'll be just like watching Clash, 10-15 minute videos, nothing crazy. Unfortunately, I'm a lot better at Minecraft than I am at Clash, so this gameplay might be a little bit more watchable. Hopefully my commentary is not too stale. There's not a lot to talk about when you're just mining and crafting, as opposed to when you're you know, basically defending everything with Mega Knight or Tesla, and then making the same commentary and same jokes over and over again, you know. I'm just a caricature of a YouTuber, but you know, it's fun. It's very enjoyable. I think YouTube is fun because it's not, and I've said this before, it's not super labor intensive. You know, I'm not really doing a lot to create a video, but I can create very good, you know, sometimes good watchable content that people like. At least 30 people on some of my Clash videos. So, I mean, it's something. It's entertaining enough that people are willing to click and watch. But hopefully I get a little bit better at Clash, you know, playing it more, because right now, you know, every video is just loss after loss after loss. Yesterday's video, the Expo video, that was great. That was something else. It was real nice, actually, getting into some wins. If you have not watched that, you can go right below where I'm at for about 5 seconds. You'll be able to click there and you can watch the video. But it's like, I don't know. I think my inability to be good at Clash sometimes makes the videos less enjoyable to watch if it's just me losing a bunch of times, which is unfortunately most of my Clash videos. But, you know, it's all about getting better. It's about improving, you know. I tell everybody this who says I'm not good at something, I don't want to do something because I'm not good at it. You know, it's not really about that. It's just doing it a lot and getting good at it, and, you know, building up your skill a little. Because you know what they say, practice makes perfect, and you can never be perfect without practice. So, you know, just keep that in mind. You know, when you're worried about, you know, I don't want to do something because I'm not good at it, or I don't want to do something because, you know, people might be judgmental, or they might just not like what you're doing. But it's like, you know, people that don't try are people that, in my eyes, are just unhappy. You know, you need to be able to jump feet first into really everything you do. You know, that's how you can really bring passion into everything you do and really enjoy it. But a lot of people, you know, they don't do that. They like to do the oh well, you know, what if this, what if that. It's not really about what ifs. It's just, you know, just doing. If a lot of people said a lot more what ifs and a lot more, you know, I don't wanna, you know, I just think people would maybe find more peace in what they do, and be more fulfilled by like how they fill their free time, or how they spend a night off, or, you know, whatever. Just try new things, find what you love, and then pursue that, because that is really apparently the key to happiness. I don't know that for a fact yet, but if that is what it is, if that is the key to happiness, that's what you just gotta do. Just chase what you love and never stop dreaming. You can only go as high as your mind thinks you will go. If I say tomorrow I'm gonna go become an NBA player, I might as well be able to because I said so. You can do anything you want to do. You just got to put your mind to it. And you really have to. You got to have that kind of fire and determination, and the ability to want. If you don't want it, then you're not gonna try that hard, and you're not gonna get it. And then you're disappointed by it, and you think, well, what if I tried harder? What if I did whatever? But instead of thinking your whole life over in what ifs, you need to think your life over in terms of I'm glad I did, or I'm glad I was able to do and I took the time to do, because you'll have a lot less regrets, and ideally you might find yourself happier with your situation. But that's gonna be the end for this first Minecraft video. We definitely got very introspective, a lot of good things to talk about, but we have to get out of here so we can go back to our lives. Keep crafting, miners.